Hello my friends, this is a highly requested video. The human voice is incredibly powerful, and getting vocal layers and vocal production right can completely transform a track into something great to something magical. Here's a list of the different techniques that I use, and I can use any of those techniques interchangeably within any project, and I only use the technique when I feel like it makes sense for the song. It's a whole world of fun. Let's go. First technique, left and right vocals. In the song Darkest Angel, darkness will fall and break through the wall and let go and feel the rain. So that's the lead vocal with my vocal chain and all the vocal effects added to it. I then record separate vocals of the same lead and push one of them hard to the left. Darkest angel. And then the same with the right. Darkest angel. Darkness will fall and break through the wall and let go and feel the rain. When you combine that together, it gives this really lovely expansive width to the sound. Darkest angel, show me the way. Darkness will fall and break through the wall and let go and feel the rain. Also, they have a little bit of reverb, a little bit of delay, but not as much as the lead vocal. I actually have similar processing on these layers as well. Compression, virtual mix rack, the same kind of vocal chain that I have on my lead vocal. Darkest angel. If I don't pan it and I just have those extra layers. Darkest angel, show me the way. It still feels thicker. It still feels like there's more substance to the vocal, but when you have the pan, it just adds that. Darkest angel, show me the way. Just has that awesome width. I usually tend to put those double layers in pre-choruses and choruses when the energy is starting to build, but often in the verses, I don't put them in. You don't always have to use the technique. Sometimes it can be nice just to have that singular vocal, the lead vocal in the middle. Been waiting a long time. Can't hide, so I let it in. Whereas here, falling and burning blue fire going up in my head. Yeah. So you want to make sure that they are actually different recordings. You don't just copy and paste the original lead vocal. This is just to avoid phasing issues. If you have the same vocal left and right and in the middle, you might end up with weird phase cancellation, and it's just not going to sound anywhere near as rich as it will when you use a new recording for each of them. They're all different. It's 3 unique recordings. Darkest angel, show me the way. Here we are in Electric Blue. This song just came out recently. You guys have been really enjoying it, which is awesome. We've got some double layers, like I mentioned, left and right. How can it feel so hard to breathe? Shadows come alive, but this is not a dream. I'm fucking terrified, it's as empty as it seems. The cool thing about the left and right layers is that you can do whatever you would like to it. If you want the track to feel tighter and you want it all to feel like one unified sound, you can tune those vocals more aggressively. You can also add formant effects to them or to the main vocal. So I had this formant effect on the lead vocal here where I said deeper down and down. Going under, deeper down and down. But then because I had the left and right vocal there too, it still felt real. Going under, deeper down and down. The next technique I love to use is harmonies. I often do the same thing as I'm doing with the left and right vocals, so I'll actually record 2 versions of the same harmony and push one to the left, one to the right. So say I had a harmony that's a third above and a fifth above, I would record 2 of the thirds and 2 of the fifths and push either of them left and right. Edge of the light, but I can't get enough. So these are a third above for the most part, but there are some differences. Some of the notes that they go to are different, and it just creates this intrigue to the sound. These are tuned slightly more aggressively because I wanted it to feel tight and coherent. Then when you pair that with the left and right vocals, edge of the light, but I can't get enough, sting my heart with desire, I'm bleeding. So here you can see the harmony left and right across there. And again, they've got the same kind of vocal chain as the lead vocal does. Edge of the light, but I can't get enough. So then when we add the lead vocal back in, sting my heart with desire, I'm bleeding in love as the waves rise higher. Right, here we are in the project for Nightmare. If you're watching this on the day or the week that it was released, then this track is not out yet. It's coming out in a week. If you're watching in the future, hello future people. This track is out and it'll be linked down in the description. This has some of the craziest vocal production of any of the tracks that I've made before. Here are all the different vocal layers that I added, and here are some of the crazy harmony vocals. Colors of heaven melt. Nothing is as it seems. So I'm saying, oh, as the colors of heaven melt.
Parallel, oh, as the colors of heaven melt.
So to emphasize that particular phrase, I recorded 6 different layers.
Colors of heaven, colors of heaven melt.
And then the same with
Nothing is as it seems.
I recorded 8 layers for Nothing Is As It Seems.
Nothing is as it seems.
And then pair that with the main vocal.
Oh, I know nothing is as it seems. My heart is beating deep.
Then in the main section of the song, when I'm saying one of the most important lines of the track, I wanted to really emphasize the word color and to make it feel colorful. So I have the main line here.
Such color.
And then added 3 harmony layers to that.
Such color in my wildest dreams.
Here, when I said forever a moment of time stop dead, I wanted to emphasize moment of time stop and then take everything away and just have my lead vocal in the middle with a formant going dead, just to make it feel eerie.
Forever a moment of time stop dead.
So obviously there's 8 layers of harmonies there. Like I said, for the left and right, I record 2
Moment of time stop.
and send 1 left, 1 right.
Moment of time stop. Moment of time stop.
And then the main vocal.
Moment of time stop dead. My heart is
In Nightmare, the only left and right layer that I did go with was a high octave version.
with the ice inside my chest.
But when I sent it hard left and hard right, I actually felt like it was too distracting. So I ended up just keeping it in the middle.
Ice inside my chest.
In Nightmare, one of the coolest aspects of the vocal production was this vocal pad that I made. I was basically saying dream, dream, nightmare. That effect is one of my favorite. It's so spine tingling, and it's just, like I said, left and right layers. So there's dream pad 1 left, 1 right, 2 left, 2 right. So there's 4 layers, but there's a left and right of each of those layers. So there's 8 layers, and obviously each of them are harmonized. If I take the effects off,
Dreams. Dreams. Dreams.
again, you could do this with a vocoder, but I just wanted the overall emotion to really be there with the different expression from each recording. Because there's just more character, I think, that comes when you have different takes. Add the effects back in. I love recording a vocal pad because really you only have to record a 4-bar or 8-bar loop. You can immediately add this coolness to a certain section of the song when you're like, I feel like it's missing something, what could it need? Oh, let's try a vocal pad. So I don't have to record an entire song's worth of vocals for the vocal pad. I just have to record 4 bars and make it really pretty. Here we are back in Electric Blue. Here's another example of the vocal pads that I created here. Quite similar to Nightmare, but I put a stutter on them and I wanted them to feel a little bit different. I just love the way that those sound. What I did for these instead was use a panomatic, so I sent them panning from left to right so that there was movement in them as well, rather than pushing them just hard left and right. I originally called them ad-libs because I wasn't sure what they were going to be at the time. I would say when I'm creating something, it's a lot more random because I'm testing ideas. I don't necessarily know what's going to work, what's going to feel the way I want it to. So I have a few things set up, left and right, ad-libs, harmonies, but sometimes a harmony becomes an ad-lib and sometimes an ad-lib becomes a harmony. The next thing I love to add, and this is often one of my favorite parts of a whole production, are ad-libs. They're just so memorable. There's something really cool and strange about the fact that you just had this random vocal coming in out of nowhere, but it feels so coherent. There's so many songs that I can't wait just to sing the ad-libs, not even the lead vocal. Very often you just take a phrase that they've just sung and you just sing it back, but with a different melody.
Lighting me up, the edge of the light, but I can't get enough. Sting my heart with desire, I'm bleeding in love as the waves rise higher. All I can feel is electric blue. Don't want believe what I see is true. I don't know where the void will go.
And then even in the softer, more intimate sections, it can work really well too.
and terrified, it's as empty as it seems, and I won't know till it's over. Can't let go, going under, deeper down.
The ad-libs I often process differently to the left and rights and the lead vocal. They're more often much more reverby. I usually send them to what I would call a space reverb, where I just make it much bigger than the other reverbs usually are. I also usually push it more on the plate reverb because it gives this really cool effect. So here we are back in Darkest Angel, and I'm going to show you the textures and the vocal reverses that I use. Sometimes adding vocal rhythms can just make it feel, I don't know, more like primal. I don't know what you want to call it. So I just went up to the mic and went... Especially at the end here when I cut some of the drums out. Kanye West, Timbaland, folk like that have done amazing jobs of using their vocals like that. There's an extra energy that just adding more drums wouldn't necessarily give to it. I love adding vocal atmospheres, vocal reverses. This really adds magic to it.
Darkness will fall and break through the wall and let go and feel the rain.
So like this reverse here, it just adds this phrasing so the track feels like it's moving and flowing way more than if that reverse wasn't there. Here's an example of portal or vibes delay that I've added.
Darkness will fall and break through the wall and let go and feel the rain.
So I've got a time machine, an echo, and some really light distortion on the vocal there that just automates up.
Darkness will fall and break through the wall and let go and feel the rain.
If I had that up the whole time, it would sound a bit crazy.
Darkness will fall and break through the wall and let go and feel the rain.
That is just the main vocal that's been pushed from side to side. I didn't have too many reverses or atmospheres in this one. I did have some cool delays. But what I did add was this cool portal effect. I love adding portal to my vocals and then just automating it up every now and again when I want some weird, cool, crazy effect. So I recorded out these portal sounds, and then if I take the automation off of it, you just hear it. Then once I've recorded that out, I then laid it down here and then just automated it up whenever it sounded really cool. For the ad-libs in Nightmare, I wanted to go for this high spacey sound.
With the ice inside my chest, am I floating through heaven or hell? I can't tell.
You'll see there, certain sections it's off the actual lead vocal, and in other sections it lines up so it becomes a harmony, and then other sections it's singing the same sound, so technically it's a double layer. Like the ad-lib there was like a combination of all three.
Fire outpour with the ice inside my chest. Am I floating through heaven or hell? I can't tell, 'cause I've never seen such color in my wildest dreams. My wildest dreams or my darkest nightmare.
The last effect in Nightmare, I had this really cool vocal glitch thing, which is just I recorded a delay of the original main vocal, but then reversed it, and that just creates a really cool effect, and I have a couple of different reverses like that throughout the track. And the way that that all vibes together with the drums is just really cool. Another really cool thing that I did in Nightmare, which I absolutely love, is this weird underwater effect. I'll talk about this more in the actual Nightmare production video. Come back. But I basically took this cool chorus and phaser and made it sound like I was underwater. Come back. There can be some resistance to creating vocals with that much detail and attention, but every time I put in more effort to make the vocals sound cool, I'm so glad that I did. We're almost at 10k subscribers on the channel. I'm gonna run a giveaway when we reach 10k subscribers, so make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss that. I've already got a few prizes confirmed with FL Studio. It's also just so cool to have everyone here. Nightmare comes out in 1 week, or if you're watching this in the future, it's already out. It'll be linked down below. I'm excited for you to hear that track too. All of the tracks that I create are special to me, and I hope they can be special to you too. I will see you in the next video, but until then, believe in yourself and you will be unstoppable.
You're my darkest nightmare.